I paid one guy on Fiverr $10, another $60, and another $100 to each find me a profitable winning product on Amazon. Okay, so the $10 guy sent me this product research report. The product that they recommend that I sell on Amazon is this welcome sign for your front door. The search term welcome sign for front door was getting around 10,000 searches per month. On average, these listings were doing about 10K in revenue, but there are a lot of similar products. I don't know. On to the $60 guy. So they recommended this case for these things that people like to suck on. 16K average revenue per listing. This Google Trends page that he sent doesn't match up to what I see. You definitely have to modify the product and make it your own to make this work. Last but not least, $100 winning product. Let's see. Now he's recommending jar spatulas. This is exciting. There are over 900 results when I search for jar spatula, which I asked him about, and he responded that he'd rather be in a market with 100 competitors that are growing instead of a sluggish market. Yeah, 60% profit margin, that's healthy, but I only think you can charge $30 per set if you're investing in molds and offering a branded experience like this particular competitor. Which product do you think would sell best?
I used to run a Shopify store. It was my second business, made some really good money from it. This was back, I think, in 2016, 2017. I was able to travel the world, so I know a bit about this. What I'll say with this that's really important, right? When you're sourcing for products, when you're sourcing for if you're doing drop shipping, if you're hosting and storing products, right? You want to evaluate several different characters. One is demand, right? Is there enough of a market? So he's using Google Trends to search what people are purchasing. There's also software. Instead of hiring somebody to do this, you can actually have some software to see some things as well. I will still back that up with research. I'm not as into this space as I used to, but I can definitely look into it if a lot of people want me to and recommend some software. But there's software that'll tell you what your top competitors doing, what has a lot of interest, what's trending, etc. Other things, profitability. So is the juice worth the squeeze, right? So what profitability margins you need? 10% to 70%. What are you really looking at? There's some things where you can get almost a 90% profitability margin. So what are you aiming for in this industry? Willing buyers, low competition. Something that will eat you up is, as he says, 100, some things, 1,000 other people are selling it. So how are you going to stake out? And if 100 or 1,000 other people sell, that means they're also paying for Facebook ad dollars. That means they're also paying for Google ads, YouTube ads, etc. So now your cost per click goes up, right? So your cost of acquisition, your targeting goes up, it becomes more expensive. You're bidding against a lot of other parties. So you want to think about competitiveness from the marketing landscape and your ability to sell or differentiate yourself in that environment. So that's something to think about as well. And there's a couple ways to really find a good product, right? You can either look for something that's very new on the uptick. So let's say something that just has started to trend, right? You're seeing, okay, wait, I look at this, I've seen this. Over the last month or 2 months, this thing has really started to pick up, but it's not really saturated in the market yet. Okay, let me see, this looks strong. I think there'll be more buyers because, people follow other people. So once you have the other people say, hey, I see that, I want it. Now you can possibly position yourself for those new entrants into that market or those new people who are trying to buy that product. And another thing to do with this is look for something that's peaking well, right? So he talked about a shrinking market. So something that's peaking well, maybe it's plateauing, but you can say, hey, there's enough demand in here. There's a ton of people here. I think I can squeeze out some space. I wouldn't necessarily go after it, but that's something you can do if you're not as strong with capturing the early market, right? Obviously, you can always try to create demand. That's a bit harder. And that kind of goes against if you're doing drop shipping, you don't really want to be creating demand. You want to have demand there. And then also, if you're storing the products, now you have the cost of having these things on here. You have to pay for the shipping. You have to pay for the storage cost. Right? So that adds risk to your books. Are there any other videos you'd like me to react to? I look forward to seeing you next time. Don't forget to share with anybody you think would benefit from it. My name is Achibur Tande. This is Tandean Advisors. God bless.